Life hits where it hurts the most, and suddenly, we find ourselves standing among the ruins of what seemed unshakable just yesterday. Losing a beloved job, a breakup, a loved one's illness, financial collapse. The world seems to have turned upside down, and the first thought that comes to mind is, why is this happening to me? Pain, fear, and confusion overwhelm us like a wave. Remember how, as a child, when a big wave would crash over you in the sea, the same thing is happening to our psyche. Emotions take over, and reason falls silent. At such moments, we become hostages to our own reactions. We pace around the house, unable to find our place. We call friends seeking sympathy. We blame circumstances, other people, the whole world. We fight reality as if it were an invisible enemy. And the more we resist, the deeper we sink into the quagmire of problems. Like in a swamp, the more you struggle, the faster you sink. And do you know what the main trap is? We want to control absolutely everything. Every twist of fate. Every event must go according to our script. Imagine a director trying to control every leaf on a tree in the shot, every cloud in the sky. Absurd, isn't it? But life doesn't ask for our permission. It just flows, like a mountain river after the spring thaw, swiftly, unpredictably, sweeping everything in its path. And we can either learn to swim with the current, using the power of the flow, or we can beat against the rocks, breaking our heads against what cannot be changed. Here's a simple example. You're late for an important meeting, and there's a kilometer-long traffic jam ahead. One person will furiously hit the steering wheel, honk, and switch lanes, winding themselves up to the limit. Another will calmly turn on their favorite music, call to warn about the delay, and might even find something useful in this pause. The traffic jam won't go anywhere, but the internal state will be radically different. There is a voice within us that knows all the answers. It is our true self, our inner wisdom. It works like a navigator in a smartphone. It always knows the optimal route, considering all obstacles and traffic jams. This wisdom infallibly senses what exactly we need for growth and development. But we so rarely listen to it. Instead of listening to the quiet voice of intuition, we turn up the volume on the radio of public opinion. We react like everyone else. After all, that's the norm. That's normal. If everyone is panicking, then I should panic too. If everyone is cursing the circumstances, then I should curse them too. It's like a herd of antelopes in the African savanna. One notices a predator and runs. And soon the whole herd is racing, not even knowing why. The collective reaction becomes our own, even though our situation might be completely different. But is this really normal? Yes. We are all heading towards one goal, to the light, to understanding the meaning of our existence. All climbers strive to reach the summit of Everest, but each chooses their own path. The North Face, the South Saddle, the West Ridge. Thousands of trails lead to one peak, and each trail is unique, like a fingerprint. What suits one traveler might be fatal for another. Someone has strong legs, but weak lungs. Someone tolerates the cold well, but is afraid of heights. Therefore, blindly copying others' reactions is like wearing someone else's shoes. They might even be prettier than yours, but walking in them will be painful. Take, for example, losing a job. For one person, it's a catastrophe. They have always dreamed of working in that company. For another, it's liberation from routine, a chance to finally do what they have long dreamed of but never dared. The same situation, but completely different life lessons. A conscious person does not react to a blow of fate. They respond. Do you feel the difference? A reaction is when you are hit, and you automatically hit back. A response is when you first think, why was I hit? What can I learn from this? Such a person tells themselves, this situation came to me for a reason. It is my strict but fair teacher. Perhaps it wants to show me that I am too attached to material things, or that I don't know how to ask for help, or that it's time to learn to trust life. Remember the story about the Japanese master whose cup broke? The students expected him to be upset, but the master smiled. Wonderful. Now I can practice non-attachment not only in theory, but also in practice. This is a conscious response instead of an automatic reaction. Then a different program turns on. Imagine that you have two programs on your computer: panic, yexe, and wisdom, yexe. Most people by default run the first one. It's fast, loud, and energy consuming. But a conscious person deliberately chooses the second one. Instead of panic, calm observation, like a scientist studying an interesting phenomenon. Instead of struggle, acceptance, like a gardener who doesn't scold the rain for ruining their picnic plans, but rejoices that the flowers will get water. We connect with our inner power and begin to use our body as a precise instrument. Physically, we relax tense muscles, straighten our stress, bent back. Emotionally, we allow feelings to be, but do not let them control us. Mentally, we shift our focus from the problem to the possibilities. And suddenly, we are back in line, captains of our ship again, not passengers rushing around the deck during a storm. The secret is to see in the problem a reflection of some suffering part of ourselves. It's like looking in the mirror and seeing not an enemy, but someone who needs help. Suppose a close friend betrayed you. The first reaction is anger, resentment, a desire for revenge. But what if you ask yourself, what part of me is suffering now? Maybe it's my inner child who is afraid of being abandoned, or the part that doesn't know how to set boundaries. When you realize this, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become an observer of your inner drama, like a director who can stop the shooting and say, "Stop. What if we play this scene differently?" Then you manage the situation, and you don't float at the mercy of the waves, like a broken boat without oars or a rudder. Everything around us, everything we experience is an alarm clock for our consciousness, sometimes gentle, like the morning sun, and sometimes sharp and demanding, like a fire alarm siren. The most difficult experiences often turn out to be the most valuable gifts in beautiful, but deceptive packaging, like bitter medicine that heals the disease. Divorce can teach us true self. Love, illness can show us the value of each day. Financial losses can separate the important from the secondary. Do you know the story about the oyster and the pearl? When a grain of sand gets into the shell, the oyster begins to cover it with mother of pearl, turning the source of pain into a treasure. Our difficulties are those very grains of sand, and what we turn them into depends only on us. Accepting this can be difficult. The mind resists. What gift? This is a catastrophe. But the heart, if you listen, whispers something completely different. So the next time life throws you another challenge, don't rush to react. Stop. Take a deep breath. Imagine that you have taken a step back and are observing the situation from the side. Turn inward. There, in the depth of your being, in the silence between thoughts, lives the answer to any question. This inner wisdom does not operate on logic, but on intuition. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It doesn't hurry. It patiently waits until you are ready to listen. And believe me, it is the best advisor you have. Free. Available 24 hours a day. And it will never give you bad advice. It knows you better than any psychologist, loves you more than the most caring mother, and is wiser than any guru. If you have any questions or suggestions, be sure to write in the comments. I will answer each one, and subscribing will help you receive new information and become a participant in our common path to awareness.